back to some extent. Happy Tuesday, everybody.
Happy Tuesday. That was a really loud one.
Scare you with that intro?
Kind of.
I figured I'd better start off with some energy. What you been up to? How's it been going?
Good. Packing, getting ready for the move. Pretty stressful, to be honest. My aunt came last weekend, though. That was really nice to have some family time. We ate really good when she was here. So, can't complain too much. How are you?
Pretty good. Got my moose t-shirt on in honor of the 2 moose that I've seen in a couple weeks now. And that's been on my bucket list. Also, I've been trying to cross a bunch of things off my bucket list before we leave. Mm-hmm. And I was thinking, there was another animal that you and I saw on one of our walks. Hike, walk, same thing. And it was pretty interesting. We kind of ran into a bit of a, I would say, dangerous situation on our hike. What do you think?
We did.
And one that we may not have been fully prepared for.
No.
So, I'll set the scene here a little bit. I think you probably forgot about this, but...
I did it, because I was like, wait, what did I do?
But, so we're walking. We're in the beautiful town of Golden, Colorado. And there's a path that kind of goes into the mountains. Golden is right up against the mountains. And so it kind of leads into the foothills of the mountains, and then you can hike as far as you want, and it goes into the mountains. So we're walking, and it has been crazy hot here. And so we started walking at about probably 6:37. Mm-hmm. The sun's starting to set a little bit. It's getting a little cooler outside. By cooler, I mean 85 degrees, not 95.
Yeah.
And so we're walking and not even really paying attention. We're just talking, just enjoying the time, enjoying the scenery, because it's a beautiful place to hike if you've never been. And all of a sudden we see 2 or 3 people that are just stopped, and we're like, all right, yeah, whatever, we'll just go around them. And we keep walking, and they go, hey, wait. There's a rattlesnake right there. And we look, and that thing is coiled up, rattling a storm.
It was loud, too.
Really loud. And I don't think we would have noticed it if they didn't say anything.
They're also pretty small. Yeah, because we were talking. Obviously, I don't know, I'm not looking on the ground. I'm looking at you or the mountains, and I totally would have walked into it.
Yeah, you were on the rattlesnake side, too, so it was ready. It would have gotten you. Yeah. I feel like it would have gotten you pretty good.
No, thank God for those people that stopped us, because we were in our own little world.
Yeah, and then we kind of noticed some other people that were also in their own world that were just ready to go right by us.
Yeah.
And so eventually it was kind of a group of people here, rattlesnake in the middle.
Because everyone was afraid to cross its path. Because it was basically a one-way path, so the people that were on the other side of this rattlesnake, they needed to pass it to get back to their cars and back to the town. We... At least we're on the safe side of it, but we still crossed it.
Yeah, we could have turned around. But anyways, eventually one of the couples on the other side got desperate enough to the point where they were like, all right, we've been waiting here for 5-10. They were probably there for 10 minutes at least. And then they were like, all right, we're going to have to send it and go right around it. And it was clearly really pissed off or really scared.
I think it was more just, I think it was scared of us.
Yeah, because it was rattling. You would be able to hear that from 50 feet away.
It's a defense mechanism.
Yeah, and it was coiled up and it was shaking almost.
Yeah.
And it was ready to go.
It was loud.
And so we watched the couple nervously scurry around the rattlesnake, and they made it okay. And then we watched another couple from our side be like, all right, I got the guts to do it now, and they went around.
I know, I had to see someone do it first. I was not going to be the first one to do it.
Yeah. And we met an older couple that kind of said,
it's fine.
Yeah, they were like, we see these all the time.
Yeah.
But then they decided they weren't going to cross its path.
That was kind of sus at first, because I was like, you see these all the time, but you're still not going to go passed. But then you went, and I couldn't look at it.
Yeah, no.
I looked the other way when I crossed, and I just ran.
Yeah, eventually you and I were just like, all right, we either have to turn around or we have to make a decision here. And we were like, really wanted to get to the end of the hike.
Yeah.
So we sent it.
It was funny, though, because we've been to Golden a lot this year, specifically this summer, and we haven't seen any rattlesnakes. And I don't know, that's not really what... Like, when I go on those hikes, I'm not searching
I didn't really even think about him.
And then, on the way back,
yeah,
same thing happened. There was
what are the odds that you see a rattlesnake? And then what are the odds that you see 2 rattlesnakes?
I know, I think I mentioned that too.
Separate
when we were walking, I was like, oh, that's cool. Like, it's one of our last weeks here. We got to see a rattlesnake. And you're like, I don't know. We might see another. I'm like, what are the odds of us seeing 2? And literally, as I said that, there was another group of people all, like, kind of stopping and walking slowly. And I'm like, obviously, it's another animal. They got their phones out. And this one was, like, on a wall, on a bridge. Definitely way further away. Like, that one I wasn't afraid of.
Yeah, we could just walk right past that one.
And it wasn't coiled up, meaning it felt safe. Like, it wasn't angry at us. Mm-hmm. So that was different. But we did see 2.
Yeah, that was wild. And I was more worried for the people that had dogs.
I know.
Because, like, I feel like curious dog would just go right up to it.
Yeah.
And so I wonder if they've ever had issues with dogs and rattlesnakes before.
They're really small, though. I mean, big dogs definitely would be fine. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't think...
But I also don't know a lot about snakes.
Yeah, rattlesnakes, it definitely isn't good to get bit by one. I think you would definitely end up in the hospital.
Yeah. It was cool. It was only cool because neither of us got hurt.
Yeah, at the end it was cool.
It was
cool
a little bit of a adrenaline rush, though, for sure.
But we've been knocking off the wildlife bucket list because we saw a moose. Mm-hmm. And I went on a hike last weekend and saw another moose and some mountain goats, which was pretty cool. So I was excited about that. And we also saw a marmot, which is like, I would say like a wiener dog size mountain animal.
You only said that because Nolan.
But they were about a wiener dog size.
It's basically like a prairie dog.
Yeah, it's like a prairie dog, but they live at like high altitudes.
Yeah.
I guess. So we saw a bunch of those too, which was cool.
A lot of animals going on around here in Colorado.
Yeah, I know, but you don't get to see those in Illinois, so.
I know.
You might as well get to see them while you're here.
After seeing all of them, I was like, what animals do you think we're going to see in Chicago?
Yeah, I don't know. Nothing. Deer, maybe.
A lot of purse dogs and...
I don't think deer hang out around the city either.
No.
A lot of...
Dogs.
Yeah, dogs.
That's
cats.
It. I don't think we'll see cats walking, though.
Yeah, rats, maybe.
Ugh. Oh, no.
Maybe we'll get lucky and we'll see a wiener dog-sized rat.
I'd rather pass.
Yeah. So that was probably the most exciting thing that has happened to us. Our life flashed before our eyes, someone said. But, yeah, other than that, life's been chill around here.
No. It has not been chill. It's been anything but chill.
For you?
We're, like, moving.
Yeah. Moving is not chill, but I think if you take it slow and you go one day at a time, you don't get as stressed out about it.
Yeah.
But anyways, our topic today, we were thinking about trying to find some interesting ways, something you may not see on a typical website or something, of cheap ways to have fun.
Yes.
And then we're about to combine that with side hustles that we have either done or heard people do or just heard of to help you make a little bit of money if you're in dire straits, especially as a student or university student. when
As
you
you
don't have a
can
lot of money.
tell, Lex and I have both been in that situation.
Yeah, it's a tough situation to deal with because you run into this thing where you don't want to, as a student at least, you're supposed to be a full-time student, right? But then you also need money to do things.
I was about to say, you're also a full-time socialite at the same time.
Yeah.
You know, your social life in college matters a lot and is your time to go out and meet people and do fun things around your campus or even out of college too. So it is always nice to have some sort of funds. Unless you're like getting funded, we were not like that. So we had to find ways to fund ourselves. So we're teaching you what we did.
Yeah.
Because it's easy.
No, it's not that easy. And you run into some interesting situations.
I know, I definitely had some weird jobs.
Yeah.
But
We'll get to that in the second
Yeah.
part 2.
true.
So cheap ways to have fun. So I made a little list here, and I know you did too, but I haven't seen your list. So we can just start rattling them off. I'm going to go with the first one, and I think this is an interesting one. I don't think you're going to see this on many websites, but one thing that my friends and I would do sometimes, but I think is kind of fun, is like you going to a store like IKEA and just walking around, and obviously you don't buy anything because everything's expensive, but just like walking around, you could walk around IKEA for 2 hours, and it is interesting, but if you don't have an IKEA near you, like walking around to like a mall and just not buying anything, but just walking around, you can entertain yourself for a few hours. Especially if you're with your friends.
Not what I expected you to say at all.
Yeah, I think I get that, but I don't really like shopping, but if I'm going in there knowing I'm not going to buy anything, then I can enjoy it a little more.
No, Lex hates shopping with a burning passion, even if it's for himself.
Yeah.
Anything.
I need a separate goal when I walk into the mall that's not go and look at clothes. It's just like...
So you're saying like window shopping, essentially.
Yeah, essentially. Or like IKEA is cool because you walk into like different rooms and then you feel like you're in a different room every time you go into somewhere. So that's at least kind of interesting.
Lex and I did just go into Restoration Hardware.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. You just walk around knowing damn well you're not going to afford anything at Restoration Hardware, but you're just like, wow, this is cool. You sit on a couch or two.
I never thought about that as like something fun to do, but it is fun. But I also love that stuff.
It can be fun. And I think if you really are like, hey, I can't spend any money, but I don't want to sit in the house all day.
Yeah.
That's an option. Especially if you live somewhere like Bloomington, Indiana, where there's no mountains.
There's an IKEA there, though?
There's no IKEA. I was talking about the mall.
Oh.
That's where we used to go. But the IKEA here is where I got the idea from. So, yeah, sometimes the mall is the coolest place in town.
Even just people watching, too.
Yeah.
You can definitely find some characters, I'm sure. Okay, I guess going off of yours with the whole window shopping, me and my friends love to go on a walk in like a really nice neighborhood and talk about the houses. Literally judge the houses as if we can afford them and just say what we would like to change in our future houses.
That I could see how that could be really fun.
I consider that a hobby of mine. Like, I'm not even kidding.
Yeah.
I love it. We did that actually the other day too. Because it's one, you get outside, you get some exercise, and you also kind of start manifesting what you want for the future, which is fun. And just, I don't know. It's cool, like, in new cities, you get to learn the area well. We did it in Boulder a lot. Denver also has some really cute neighborhoods, so that is on my list.
I think what's interesting about that one and then mine from earlier is just you're essentially just trying to unlock your imagination by stimulating your brain somehow.
Yeah.
And it's just, it also includes walking, so there's a little exercise involved.
So it's a little plus.
In yours, you get to be outside.
Outside, yeah.
So Yeah, I could entertain myself for sure just looking at houses.
I know Ansley and I swear would do that like driving too in the winter, especially when they have all the Christmas lights up.
Yeah. Christmas
That's
lights are
also
the best.
fun. In the winter version.
But then you can't walk.
Right, you're in a car.
Yeah.
If you're somewhere cold, like we live.
Yeah. But a walk you could take 2-3 hours to do.
Oh yeah.
Just walk all over the place.
Okay, what's the next thing on your list?
Yeah, so one thing I had on my list, which I did a lot growing up when we didn't have a lot of money to spend or like just, I don't know, sometimes I didn't even have a job. So I would have to find things to entertain myself. Would be me and my buddies would raft, like get inner tubes that you could get for $5-10 at Walmart and then just raft down our local river. But the funny thing is, I actually did that last year here.
Yeah.
So I don't think it really grows out of you. If you could find a good river to raft down, then you got to go because it's essentially just a natural lazy river.
The one back home, because I know which one you're referring to, is so gross, but I've done it so many times.
Yeah.
And it's fun. It's way lazier than the one like in Colorado.
Yeah.
We've already talked about this in a previous episode, but the one that we do here is rapids. It's hard.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I get flipped over. It's not a lazy river by any means, but it is really fun and cheap.
Well, yeah, it's free if you have the inner tube.
If you have the inner tubes, yeah, of course.
But the inner tubes cost $5-10.
Ours are pretty similar because another one on my list was to go to like a reservoir or a lake or some sort of body of water that you're close by and go swimming. That's free too. Boulder had a creek that we'd always swim at in the summer. It also has a reservoir. And then, again, I guess Golden we go to a lot now. And that's also free. So, kind of similar to yours. Just going to a body of water and chilling out. Again, that's for, like, warmer weather.
Yeah, these are warm weather. You obviously can't raft the river when it's freezing outside.
You can do ice skating, or my brother and his friends would always play ice hockey. If, you know, you're good on skates, but also trust that the water's, or the ice, I guess, is thick enough.
Yeah, I've never been able to do that.
Oh my God, there was a couple guys back in high school that would, you know, go for the weekend and then end up being pulled out the whole season of their sports because they would
fall through.
Not fall through, but like break their ankle. Because it's not like a clear, safe surface. It's pretty, I'm sure it's like bumpy and they don't.
Yeah, I've never even played pond hockey before because I'm not a good skater and I also don't totally trust the ice out there.
Yeah, my brother and his friends would do it all the time back home. So that's a winter version for you.
Yeah. I mean, the obvious ones for the winter that come to mind immediately are just like sledding.
Right.
Or just take that same inner tube that you used in the winter and then use it they use in the summer and use it in the winter.
Find a hill.
Yeah. You could get so much use out of a good inner tube.
I agree.
So I think that was one thing I remember from growing up that I'm like, I could continue to do this rafting down a river. Mm-hmm. Because someone like me, I don't love to just chill out at like a reservoir sometimes, like a beach, and I kind of just get bored. Mm-hmm. But like a river can...
You have a bug on your eye.
I was wondering what that was.
I was like looking at you. What is that?
Is it gone?
Yeah. That was so weird. Oh God.
You gotta keep that in there.
I thought I was like tripping for a second. Like, what is coming out of your eye?
Oh, did it go in my eye?
I don't know.
Did it come out of my eye?
Yeah, it's gone.
I wonder if it was in there earlier. Yeah, I think using those inner tubes is a good idea. We'll move on.
Oh God. Okay, another one on my list is game night. And this could be any season. I personally love playing games. Any games. Card games, board games.
Board games?
Sorry, I can't, like, look at you right now. Okay.
Did I get it off?
Yeah.
Okay.
Board games. My personal favorite is Catan. I feel like my friend group in college loved playing games. If we didn't want to go out, but we still wanted to drink and hang out, we would just go to someone's house and bring a board game and then drink wine and beers and just chill. That's a super easy, but also social thing you can do. Or a family, whoever you want to hang out with. Stay in.
Yeah.
Play a board game. You can play board games for hours. Or card games. I'm a big card game girl.
What if you're by yourself? What kind of games can you play? The only one I can think of is solitaire. Yeah. Or Sudoku, I guess.
Yeah. I like to play Wordle. Oh my god, Times has so many new games now. They have like a Connect 4 one. It's hard. It's in beta though, so I think they're just testing. And then there's like the Scrabble one or the crosswords. They have a ton.
Oh really?
So many games. But they're all on your phone. Like if you want to get off your phone, learn a new magic trick. Surprise someone.
Yeah. True. I remember in COVID I tried to learn magic.
Yeah.
I just learned like 2 magic tricks, and then I completely forgot them as soon as COVID ended.
I feel like that's how Lex tried to pick me up, is he'd show me his card tricks.
They're pretty cool. Like, someone who knows how to do card tricks does grab a lot of the attention.
Because they're interesting.
Yeah, and then there's people who think they can beat them.
Yeah.
But, yeah, honestly, if you want to be a highlight of a party, learn magic.
Yeah. But I don't know, cards is just something so easy you can just bring around with you all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And you could play with so many people or yourself.
Yeah.
So, games. Game night.
Piggybacking off of that, one thing I used to do when I was growing up as well was I feel like I was pretty good at taking advantage of the local library.
Really?
Yeah. So, especially in high school and middle school, like I would go to the library either if I was by myself or with my friends, and we'd go there and do homework that would take us 30 minutes, but then we'd just play games on the computer.
Oh, yeah.
And like, I don't know, there was a bunch of other stuff you could do.
Read books.
Yeah, or pretend to read, I guess. There was like our library had like a 3D printer that you could like mess around with. So that was interesting. We had a pretty good library, like right by our house. So it was pretty stacked with things to do when you got there. But you just have free access to computers and stuff, and you can entertain yourself for hours there.
Yeah.
So growing up, I used that a lot, and in Bloomington, I went to the library a good amount too, just because it was more fun than just being by yourself at home.
True. Okay, I have another like staying at home one is just cooking. You could totally make that a date or do it with a friend or have friends over and cook, which obviously I know you have to buy the food, but it's so much easier going to the grocery store and buying ingredients compared to buying a $40 meal or wherever you want to go. So cooking and making it like a fun thing, you know, pizza making night or cookies or...
Yeah, you can get creative when you're cooking.
You know?
Yeah.
Anything like that where you can do it all together, or if you just want to be the chef and cook for everyone and just kind of set out a cute little nice table, light a candle, play some music, open a bottle of wine, like romanticize it. It's so fun.
Yeah. But what if you don't have money for ingredients? You can just buy those little boxes of brownies.
Yeah, but then how
It's not cooking.
How do you have money to eat?
True.
Ever.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
in my mind, if you have money to eat out, you have money to go to the grocery store. It's so much cheaper to go to the grocery store than eat out. So, if you want to save money on eating out, cook for people. Yeah. And you can still have the whole social element of eating with other people. Yeah. Being in a restaurant scene, but at home.
Yeah, it's easy if you have roommates too.
And it's also an experience we can share.
Fair.
We've been doing that a lot this year, and I love it.
Yeah.
It's honestly like a hobby of mine is hosting people over, but also really getting into cooking. It forces you to want to be good, because, you know, usually when you cook for yourself, it's like, okay, whatever. I'll throw this together. I'm not trying to impress anyone. But then when you put an audience in front of you, you obviously want them to like it and to impress them. So it could be a good learning experience as well.
Cook to impress. Yeah, it'll make you try new things too.
Yeah.
I agree with that one. I think kind of going along the lines of staying in, like not leaving the house. Something like that my friends and I would do sometimes is like creating a drafting, but you draft like your favorite artists, or you draft the best movies.
Yeah.
And you can kind of see, say you get like 4 picks each, you can kind of see who's got the best list at the end, which has always been super interesting. You can do it with the most random topics too.
Yeah.
You draft like, I don't know, like 4 places in the world you want to go, or like draft the best pizza sauces. I don't know.
Our guy friend would do like a specific artist.
Yeah, I think, that's probably
So,
where
like,
I got the idea from.
Kanye West songs, only Kanye West.
Mm-hmm.
And then pick whoever has the best
Whoever
songs.
picks the best songs from the artist. And you can kind of see the list, which is a lot of fun, actually. It can be a lot of fun because you're like, oh, I was thinking about that one. Or like,
it sounds so like dumb, but you also like learn a lot about people or new songs.
Yeah.
I'm going off like what we usually do is songs. Then you get new music from it if you didn't know about a song or whatever topic you do.
Yeah, so we like to do that a lot. Or like best comedy movies. That'd be a good one because there's some really all-time comedy movies out there. But I feel like a lot of people would think of the same ones. So
like the classics and then like the new ones versus like rom-com. There's a lot.
Best Christmas movies. That would be a good one. I kind of want to do that now.
We can do that after this.
And yeah, so that is something that is pretty interesting. It makes the conversation more interesting, I think.
Yeah. If you guys love gold jewelry as much as I do, you have to check out Slide Jewels. Slide Jewels is a jewelry brand that crafts contemporary and affordable pieces from high-quality stainless steel. From earrings, necklaces, rings, and bracelets, Slide has pieces for everyone. Use code TOSOMEEXTENT to get 30% off your purchase. Links and promo code will be in the show notes, so check it out. Okay, this one might be just a me thing, but I love plants, so anytime I get with a plant is always so fun. And taking care of them, or watering them, or repotting them, or cleaning them up. I guess gardening eventually will be the hobby that I'm going for. So I guess gardening in general.
But if you don't have a garden.
I live in an apartment. As you can see, I have just plants. So cleaning them, watering them, taking care of them.
I have heard, not saying that you do this, but I've heard some people talk to their plants.
I do that.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
What do you say?
There's been, I swear, a research study that was like, if you just ignore your plant, it kind of gets sad. It's a living thing. Of course I talk to them.
What do you say to this one?
Like, you look so tall today.
Really?
You look so green. Or I love you.
That's what you say to them?
Yeah. When I water them, I'm like, oh, you look good today. The light's shining on you. I don't know.
Yeah, you just give it some positive reinforcement.
I guess that's another one you could add to your list is talk to your plants.
So what do you think it does for them?
It shows that you love them.
You could give this one a hug.
Yeah. You can.
This one's as tall as you are.
That's another thing I do is most of my plants are tropical and I just like hit them a little bit. Or like try to do rainwater so it seems like they're in their
natural habitat.
Yeah. But they're in my room.
It's like storm!
No, it's a thing.
This one could use a storm. This is a palm tree, isn't it?
Yeah. No, it's fine. I'm also really sad because I'm moving. I've been selling a lot of my plants. It's been a sad, emotional time.
Yeah, what do you say? Do you say goodbye to them?
Yeah, of course. I had them all year, and I helped them grow.
Yeah, they're going to be so sad when their new owner doesn't talk to them.
I know. I'm a great plant owner. So if you're not into plants, get into plants. And if you're already into plants, I don't know, start a garden. Plant something new. My dad this year did a little strawberry plant, and it's so cute. Like,
Yeah.
I would love, one day when I'm done running around town, which I don't know when that will be, probably never, and I'm settled down in one spot, I would love to have a whole garden.
I like the plants that produce things that you can eat, or something like aloe, where
I know.
you can use it.
We used my whole aloe plant this whole summer.
Yeah.
Which is a good thing. It was huge, but now it looks dead, but it's doing well. Like,
Yeah, it's just been pumping out aloe.
Yeah, it helps. My aunt was actually just telling me about this, and we were talking about it after Prime Day. I forget what they're called, but it's basically a indoor garden where you can plant like cilantro and parsley and basil and whatever things you cook with that you can plant.
Yeah.
Herbs, but inside. So I'm considering getting one or investing in one.
Does it have it? It has its own light over it, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you obviously still water and stuff because sometimes like I'll go to Trader Joe's and they always have like basil $3 and I always am using basil, especially cilantro. So I'm like, oh, I might as well just use the plant and then
save the money.
it regrows. It never regrows. It always
just dies after you use it.
Yes. And I have a green thumb. I know I don't know what it is. It might be.
Yeah, you have experience taking care of plants, though.
It's really frustrating. Like, those plants always die, and it's like the ones I really want to keep alive and do well because I can use them. So, if you're, I don't know, in an apartment like me and you do want to start growing herbs, you should look into the indoor garden. I don't know what it's called. I just search
indoor garden.
Yeah. So sorry, I should have researched that before I said it, but that could be a fun little thing and hobby and shows you can take care of something else besides just yourself.
True, yeah.
It's like a rewarding process when it grows.
Yeah.
And you can use it or talk to it.
Yeah. True. Maybe one day it'll talk back.
Maybe one day.
If you grow it long enough. I think moving on, one interesting one I thought of from this show that I have watched is it's like you blindfold snack like taste test almost. And I remember we did this once. And you just like line up a bunch of ice creams and then you try to like determine which one is which based off of like not seeing them. But I thought it was so fun just like trying different ice creams, and then if you don't know what they are, then you kind of get a real sense for what you like and like your biases go away. Mm-hmm. Which is kind of interesting. So it's cool to test out. I haven't done it too often, but it was just fun as a game.
Lex does it every day.
If you have a bunch of, say, pints of ice cream is a good example, or really just you try out different brands or something, and you get to see what you like and what you don't like, and if it changes your bias or not. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like that Pepsi versus Coke commercial where they blindfold people, and they're like, Pepsi or Coke, and they drink it, and they're like, oh, it's Pepsi, and they thought it was Coke. So it could change your mind on some things that you thought you were loving too.
Learning experience right there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, maybe that's more of a you thing. Lex will be at the gym though and be watching these two guys on YouTube taste testing things. Like, you love that show, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Or podcast or...
It's called Good Mythical Morning. It's really interesting.
Just so random, but...
These guys will, like, go into a show and being like, oh, I love McDonald's. And they'll come out and being like, well, Wendy's is not my favorite because I just tried it and blindfolded.
Okay, that I would do because I love and I stand by McDonald's. Always. Like I've never been a Wendy's lover, but I would try that.
Yeah. I don't know. You have any others?
Yes. On the weekends, Denver. Okay, I guess it depends on the city or like where you're at, but Colorado does a great job of having like farmers markets. Farmers markets are so fun, and again, in a way, you can go around, and I know it's like shopping, but it's cheap because it's like groceries, or you just don't need to get anything, and it's just nice to like stop by each little tent and see what they're selling or what their hobbies are, what they grow at their house. Flea markets are also really fun. There's a huge one in Denver, and that takes up hours of your day, especially if it's a large one, and you just walk around, and it's fun. I like it. Yeah. Boulder also had a really cute one, and I know Chicago has a lot of them too.
Outdoor markets are fun.
Yeah. It's just wholesome. A wholesome little Sunday.
Yeah, exactly.
Outing. I think they happen on Saturdays too. Usually weekends, but it's fun.
It's a good way to incorporate a little exercise and also enjoy yourself.
Mm-hmm. And get some fresh food, or jam, or honey, or whatever.
Or don't get anything at all.
True. And just enjoy the outdoors.
Yeah, exactly.
And everyone's company. So that was another one on my list.
Nice.
Cheap but fun.
Yeah, it's a good one. I don't really have any others. I think we listed a bunch that I feel like you wouldn't find on a typical website, or you wouldn't find just by searching up things to do with no money.
I have one more.
Oh, you have another one?
But it does kind of involve money, but thrifting. If you're a shopaholic.
Yeah, but it's cheap though. It is cheap.
Yeah, if you're a shopaholic like me, and I don't know, in a way, I love using, like I like retail therapy. It genuinely makes me feel better and less stressed, which is terrible, but also amazing at the same time. And I'll just go take myself thrifting because I know I can't spend that much money on one thing, you know? If you go thrifting and you spend a lot of money, it's because you're getting a lot of things instead of just one thing. So if you're looking for an alternative way,
it's like shopping on a diet.
Whole episode on thrifting if you aren't really into it and want to get into it. But thrifting was also on my list. Yeah,
that's a good one. You can keep it really cheap.
Yeah.
You can get a couple things for $15, $20.
Especially the bins.
Yeah, exactly.
Things are like $1.
Yeah. But you gotta have a little time on your hands for sure to find something that you like. But yeah, that's a whole different episode that we already did.
Yeah.
Well, that was good. Mm-hmm. Definitely some really good options there. I can't, off the top of my head, I don't think I have any others. But I don't know, if you're bored and also don't have any money to spend, there's still hope for you to find things to entertain you. Or even just on
a budget. You're balling on a budget. You want to do some wholesome things. Don't want to spend all your money. Maybe you're saving up for something, or
there's still good ways to have fun out there.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
So hopefully one of these sparked a little
idea.
Interest in you.
Yeah. For sure. Other than that, you want to wrap it up?
Yeah. We want to do a part 2.
Okay.
Kind of about not only are you spending or saving money doing these cheaper, fun activities, but we also want to do a little side episode on side hustles and explaining like the weird jobs or weird things we do to provide our lives, our social lives, and be able to go out and have fun and do all these fun things.
Yeah, it's honestly just more for side cash, but I guess when I was in school, like a student, it was pretty much my only income, so
yeah,
that was some side hustles I had to create. But yeah, we'll get into that next week, so tune into that if you're interested.
Thanks.
Thank you. Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday.